Welcome back in. Welcome back in. It's your boy Mike coming back at y'all, man. Divisional round playoff game. We're taking on the LA Rams, our third matchup of the season. And the first of the season where we'll see the Rams at full capacity. We've got a playoff rival scenario right here. And we're going to go chess match, man. I think getting that play recognition and awareness up for the defense is really going to help out in a big way, especially with us having to contend now with Cooper Kupp. And of course, last week we also went ahead and looked at the wild card matchups. We'll see how many we got right. And right away, you see in the AFC just a complete shift from what we expected. New England beating the Jets 30-24 in overtime behind 305 yards and 3 touchdowns from Mac Jones. 275, 2 touchdowns and a pick for Zach Wilson. Dalvin Cook did his thing, 122 yards. Ramondre Stevenson. Mac Jones had a rushing touchdown as well. Look at Juju. 7 for 145 and 2 scores. Michael Thomas now a New York Jet. You see Elijah Moore against his old team. Second-year receiver Dustin Thurston getting into the end zone as well. All around, just a really solid performance from this Patriots team. 2 sacks for Sam Hubbard, 1.5 for Keon White. Christian Gonzalez getting in on it. Dayon Henley getting an interception. Man, what a performance from the Patriots, shocking their division rival. So that's one down that we got incorrect. Cleveland does take care of business against Jacksonville. Came down to the wire, was 14-10 going into the fourth. Cleveland outscoring Jacksonville 14-3 in that fourth quarter. Both quarterbacks under 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not a whole lot of passing going on in this game. The running backs looking about similar. Pierre Strong finding the end zone. Second-year receiver Mike Taylor leading all receivers, 7 for 72 and a score. You see Cedric Tillman up there. Chig Okonkwo, yet to see Amari Cooper. There he is, just 1 catch for Amari. Shocked that they were able to get through there without relying on their number 1 receiver. Myles Garrett getting 2 sacks, blowing up that game plan as predicted. No interceptions in this one. No fumbles to speak of. No defensive touchdowns to speak of. Cleveland moves on. And the most shocking result, I think, of the wild card weekend, the Raiders not just winning but manhandling Buffalo. They had a 27-3 halftime lead and just never took their foot off the gas, dominating Buffalo in Las Vegas. Travis Garner 285 and a touchdown. Josh Allen threw for 2 touchdowns, 270 yards, 9 sacks between those two quarterbacks. Not a whole lot going on the ground. Jacoby Myers and Gabe Davis each getting 8 for 104. Devontae getting into the end zone. Stephon Diggs, 5 for 62. Not quiet, but not great by any means. Dawson Knox and Charlie Werner both getting into the end zone for Buffalo. Matt Milano leading both teams in tackles. Got a couple tackles for loss there. 4 guys with at least 2. And Greg Rousseau getting 3 sacks, trying to one-up Myles Garrett there, I see. Really, really good performance from him, from the defense. These two defenses overall. I know Buffalo gave up 38, but that is a shocker. So 1-2 on the AFC side. NFC side, starting with Philly, and as predicted, they did take care of business against the Giants, showing the Jets how to take on a divisional rival in a 2-7 matchup and win, forcing the second-year man Kenny Sasser into 3 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, meanwhile, passing for 3 and running for another. Saquon only getting 11 carries. Shocking to see that, but when you get down early, really throws those game plans off. Dallas Goedert getting into the end zone twice. Hodgins, 7 for 76 and a score. A.J. Brown also finding the end zone. Defensively, you got Okereke and Grant Delpit leading the teams with 9 tackles. Couple guys with 2 tackles for loss. 2 sacks for Azeez Ojulari. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams each getting 1 as well. Couple Eagles down there. And you see Grant Delpit, James Bradbury, and Kaiser White getting those interceptions. Hassan Reddick did force a fumble, not recovered by the Eagles, but they dominate, take care of business, headed to the next round. Rams do beat the Bucks as predicted. They were up 14-0 after 1, 17-7 at the half, and just coasted from there. Tua going for 205, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jared Goff just 172 yards. Not a great overall performance from him. You see Tua getting 78 yards on the ground as well on 14 carries. That is interesting. Rookie or second-year man now, Frank Ware, finding the end zone twice on just 3 carries. DeAndre Hopkins goes 6 for 74, cut behind him at 63 yards. And you see the receiving games, just not a whole lot to speak of overall. Joe Tryon leading both teams with 9 tackles. He also had a sack along with Eric Kendrick. Jamel Dean getting an interception. Shocked to see with this level of performance, but I guess those 2 touchdowns from the second-year man Ware really swung that overall. And then our final wild card matchup, Dallas taking on Detroit in Detroit and taking care of business, 31-21, 297 and 3 scores from Dak. Rookie Mark Taylor going for 2 touchdowns and a pick, little under 300 yards himself. Dak also leading the way with 52 yards on the ground. And CD, man, who led the league in pretty much every meaningful receiver category this year, going 13 for 171 and a touchdown, just really doing his thing. Rookie tight end Conrad Gregg also getting in, as well as rookie Shamir Allen. Defensively, you got CJ Gardner-Johnson there leading both teams in tackles. DeMarcus Lawrence finding Mark Taylor for the sack. Do got 1 interception there, courtesy of Malik Hooker. And now our divisional rounds are set. You got us against the Rams and the Cowboys against the Eagles, 2 divisional clashes in the divisional. I got us winning our game. And, as we said in the wild card round, I just think that we're going to have to ultimately get through Philly if we want to get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, assuming that we get past the Rams. So I think that they handle business at home. In the AFC, Pittsburgh been one of the best teams along with us all year, just 2 losses the whole season. This is another interesting one. As we said, the Eagles and Giants played in Week 18. The Patriots and Steelers played in Week 18. Patriots losing that game pretty handily. So I think Pittsburgh runs it back, gets the win, hosts the AFC Championship. And meanwhile, down here, I'm going to go ahead and pick against the Raiders again. I think Cleveland has done a fantastic job getting to this point. And again, I think Myles Garrett going to just prove to be a little bit too much. So now we're going to dive into a couple of upgrades. Zaven Collins officially hitting that 90 club. As we said, man, he's going nowhere. Will certainly be with the team next year. So don't you worry. Glenn Roberts going ahead and getting another upgrade himself. And he's now up to an 85 overall. Really good upgrades there. +1 throw accuracy mid, 2 throw deep. Love to see that. His accuracies are starting to come together. We know that he has a cannon. We know he has the running ability to boot as well. Eric Armstead, who hasn't had a huge season for us, started off his Cardinals career with a sack against the Niners. Hasn't really heard much from him since then. Cam Thomas, fresh off of his new contract that he got in Week 18. And, man, just when we go against this Rams team, I think all of these guys getting these upgrades are going to be major contributors. Roberts going to be his first career playoff game, at least as the starter, that is. So definitely going to be looking to see what he can do, in the face of pressure, in the face of expectations. He's been playing with house money all season, but he's going to have to get this one done without his star running back, Ty Davis-Price, who suffered a broken finger, unfortunately, in practice this week. He is going to be out, and this is going to be a very, very difficult injury because Aaron Donald is back in business for the Rams, and we know what kind of dominance he can display in the run department. Not just the run department, but, since that's what we were talking about, means Antonio Gibson is going to have to step up. We might even see a little bit of Darrell Hobbs, man. Antonio Gibson working against Aaron Donald, those young, energetic guys on that defensive front, certainly not going to be an easy task by any means. And with us wanting to take as much pressure off of Glenn Roberts as possible in his first career playoff start, certainly going to be looking for plenty of help in the running back department. And I do think that our game plan is going to be pretty straightforward, man. We're going to try to run the ball. We're going to give Roberts, easy completions. We're going to, try to narrow the field a little bit, try to limit possessions for the other side. Because at the end of the day, if we can get, 21, 24, 30 points I think that our defense is in a really good spot, being fully healthy to handle that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this Rams roster for the third time this year. Tua at quarterback, as we know. Running back Cam Akers and Frank Ware. CJ Ham, the fullback. At receiver, Cooper Kupp now back in business and ready to show us something. DeAndre Hopkins, Wan'Dale Robinson. Shocked not to see Peter Tompkins above Wan'Dale because he was above him while Kupp was hurt. But, we'll see how they decide to work through that. At tight end, David Njoku and Jermaine Gilbert. Njoku, again, a big piece of what they've been able to do offensively. Jonah Williams at left tackle, Steve Avila left guard, Oluwatimi at center, Kevin Dotson right guard, right tackle, you got Rob Havenstein. Larry Ogunjobi at left end, Aaron Donald back from injury at right end, DJ Jones, Javon Kinlaw going to be those two defensive tackles. Byron Young, left outside linebacker. Michael Smith and Jake Hummel at middle linebacker. Hummel, of course, picking us off in each of the last two games. Sean Kreiner at right outside linebacker. Corners, Daquan Owens, Levi Wallace, and Andrew Booth Jr. Haven't seen a whole lot of Andrew Booth really over these two games. Xavier Moorhead at safety. We've seen John Johnson work a lot out of the slot. Justin Reed at strong safety. Kicker Harrison Butker, and the punter Braden Mann. And so Arizona set to go ahead and get things started as we are underway. Antonio Gibson back deep to return. Looked like he thought about staying in the end zone, decides to take it out. Going to be hit down at the 16-yard line. And that is where Glenn Roberts and this offense will get started. Roberts coming off of a pretty good season. 4,439 yards. 50 touchdowns, which is not something that most quarterbacks have ever been able to achieve, and did have 29 interceptions, thankfully not joining Jameis in the 30 for 30 club. And Roberts now lined up for his first career playoff snap, and he has Antonio Gibson in the backfield, going to hand it to him. Gibson trying to power forward for a little bit. He's going to have about 4 there, leading to a 2nd and 6. Trips look on the left. Going to go ahead and make some adjustments here with Roberts. He's going to bring McBride in line, going to get right on top of that offensive line, and they're going to hand off to Antonio Gibson again. And Gibson, just again, a gain of 4 yards, leading to a 3rd and 2. Last thing you want is an early 3 and out as they're going to the empty look. And Roberts going to have Rondale Moore quickly, who is back and healthy for this game. A big piece of our offense had been missing over the last few weeks of the season, and we made it work, but we're happy to have him back. And now here he is trying to find Rashad Bateman, throws it to no one. Pressure in his face. Lucky that wasn't intercepted by Hummel. Now here we are, 2nd and 10. Roberts dropping back, trying to go deep for Trey McBride, who's covered by Jake Hummel, and McBride able to go up and get it. The young linebacker, not sure how he let that one get over his head, but he does. And 1st and 10 across midfield now, looking for Rashad Bateman, who has some space on the right side, and he's moving down the field. Rashad Bateman, a 36-yard catch and run, one of the biggest plays already of the day. And this first drive looking like it could end in something big. Roberts standing tall in the face of the pass rush. Aaron Donald and co. not able to get there quickly enough. It's going to be a 1st and goal now at the 8-yard line of the LA Rams. As here we go, 1st and goal. Going back to that trips look, handing off to Antonio Gibson. Has a block, trying to cut up inside. Able to get about 5 yards there, but he is going to be stopped down at the 3-yard line. DJ Jones, the first Ram in there. Now 2nd and goal. Roberts again making some adjustments. They're going to hand it off to Antonio Gibson again. He sees them coming through the hole and cuts it outside and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jake Hummel not quite quick enough to stop Antonio Gibson from getting in. He crosses the goal line despite a really solid effort from Hummel, and Gibson starting the work here in the divisional round, filling in for Ty Davis-Price, who we know we like to feed a lot of goal line carries to. This time it's Antonio Gibson. Cardinals up 7-0. Rams about to get to work. As here's Tua Tagovailoa 4,230 yards, 35 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And of course, we know in their last game, he did throw 5 touchdowns against us. It wasn't enough ultimately, but they were rocking and rolling on offense as 1st and 10. Tua scrambling outright. Cam Thomas in pursuit, and Cam Thomas gonna drag him down. Cam Thomas fresh off of an upgrade point. Cam Thomas fresh off of a new contract extension, and Cam Thomas with the first big defensive play of the game, sacking Tua on his very first drop back and setting up the Rams already in 2nd and very long. It's 2nd and 23. Now here we are, 2nd and 23. Tua going to remain in the shotgun right here with Cam Akers in the backfield alongside him. Going left side, looking for DeAndre Hopkins. Has a completion of about 8 yards there, but it'll still be a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. Here's Tua. Tua dropping back, trying to find somewhere to go with the ball, doesn't have anywhere to. Andrew Stinson all over Cooper Kupp that time, and they will punt the ball away. A quick 3 and out from this Rams offense, and Arizona now set to get it again. Antonio Gibson back on the return, and Antonio Gibson, we've seen how dangerous he can be in these return situations. Gibson fielded it at about the 32, looking at about 24 yards there on the return. Play action, Roberts roll out left, drops it short to Elijah Higgins, who powers forward for a gain of 9. It'll be a 2nd and 1, working already pretty close to the red zone, about 15 yards out. Handoff Antonio Gibson, who's going to get just across that first down line before being brought down by DJ Jones. But a first down nonetheless. Here's Roberts now, scrambling, looking, trying to find Rashad Bateman. Was worried that Justin Reed was going to get there in time. He does not. Rashad Bateman doing a great job just falling down on that one. Sets up another 1st and goal, as Rashad Bateman's been doing a lot of really good things. Has set us up now with 2 1st and goals here in this first quarter. Rondale Moore on the bubble screen, not able to get too much there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5, bringing Antonio Gibson across. Has a man, Rondale Moore, across the middle. He's going to be hit down, though, at the 1 yard line, but they're going to keep this Rams defense on their toes, hurrying back up to the line. Here's Roberts, going to hand off again for Antonio Gibson, and the Red Sea parts. Touchdown Cardinals. Antonio Gibson wasting no time with already his 2nd touchdown here in the first quarter, doing his best Ty Davis-Price impression. Cardinals with a 2-score lead early. Rams now need to respond so they don't let things get away from them too early in this game. Handoff, Cam Akers, his first of the game, goes for about 3 yards there, down to the 28-yard line. Now 2nd and 7. Akers remaining in the game. They're in the spread look this time, trying to set up the screen. Juan Drummond is there and bats that one away. Or rather, I guess it hit him in the midsection, but 3rd down nonetheless. 3rd and 7. Trips look right. Njoku alone as the tight end. And Tua going to scramble up the middle unimpeded. He's going to slide down. Gain of 16 there for Tua. Everyone was covered up. Tua saw the space, decided to take it, and he goes for 16 and their first down of the ball game. As here he is, right side, connecting with his man. It's going to be DeAndre Hopkins. No, that wasn't DeAndre Hopkins. That was Wan'Dale Robinson. As here they go, 2nd and 6 now, looking right side. This time Cooper Kupp, who has his first catch of the day, first catch of the year against us. And after one, the Rams just 22 offensive yards compared to 127 here for Arizona, and it's a 14-0 lead for the Cardinals. As here we go, 3rd and 1. Tua tried a read option, tried to keep it, but B.J. Ojulari is all over it, and what looked like it could be a promising drive got across midfield, ends right there with a 3-yard loss from B.J. Ojulari to Tua. They'll punt it away once again. Arizona with an opportunity to extend this lead even further. And they'll start this drive with a handoff to Antonio Gibson. We saw Ty Davis-Price bust out a big run on that same play just 2 weeks ago now against the Seahawks. Now 2nd and 7. Roberts has Bateman, breaks off of a tackle. Bateman going to be dropped, and it looked like he was shy of the first. They're going to give him the yardage needed. No challenge from the booth. 1st and 10 now. Roberts handoff. Antonio Gibson tried to go up the middle. Nowhere to go there. Going to be a gain of just 1. Now here they are, 2nd and 9. Roberts, once again, taking the snap, dropping it short for Antonio Gibson. Has him for a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd and 1 now. And we know what this team likes to do on 3rd and 1. They'll do it again here. Antonio Gibson getting the give. And Gibson gets about 10 yards there, 1 yard, and then plenty more to go ahead and set us up with a fresh set of downs at the 44. Gonna drop it to a wide open Rashad Bateman again, and they're doing a horrible job keeping him contained. Rashad Bateman this time going for 28 yards. And then Glenn Roberts, 10 of 11 for 150 yards here in the early going of this divisional round matchup. Now 1st and 10, Roberts trying to find Rashad Bateman again. This time does overthrow him. He was wide open, could have potentially made a beeline towards the end zone. Doesn't happen this time. Roberts looking for Rashad Bateman for the 3rd straight play, and again overthrows him. Xavier Moorhead was there, but I think Bateman had a step on him. 3rd and 10, Roberts taking it, and he's going to go for the 3rd times the charm play to Rashad Bateman. Looked for him twice in a row, missed him. This time does get it. And that's Rashad Bateman's 3rd conversion that ends up with a 1st and goal. Now looking left side for Rondale Moore. He's going to be hit out of bounds there at the 2-yard line. Once again, just shy of that touchdown. Roberts sensing pressure from Aaron Donald. He's going to throw it for Rondale Moore, who takes a huge hit from Michael Smith, but holds on in the end zone for the Arizona touchdown. Glenn Roberts sensed the pressure coming on the left-hand side from Aaron Donald. He beat DJ Humphries early. Roberts didn't panic. Instead, scrambled out, threw it to where he knew his man would be in Rondale Moore. It's his 1st career passing touchdown in the playoffs. And the Cardinals breezing through in this first half, up 21-0. As here we go, Tua had pressure in his face, dumps it short to Cam Akers, and Cam Wilhelm there to lay the boom. 2nd and 8 now. Akers still in the game, and they're going to hand it off. No, Tua's going to keep it on the read option, breaking a tackle from Jalen Johnson, and Zaven Collins able to bring him down there with the first Cardinal there. Tua with a nice 13-yard carry there. Got to be careful if you're Tua, man. We've seen the way that this defense has come after some of their other players, and the last thing they need is for him to take a huge hit like that. And now Tua going to do it with his arms as he lays one up for DeAndre Hopkins. Amani Harris looked like he just lost track of it in the air. Not often that we see that from the rookie standout. That's a 28-yard connection from Tua to Nuke, and they're having their best drive so far of this first half, setting up at the 32-yard line as they're going to flip things around, staying in that trips look, a look that they've loved to see this entire game. Tua airing one deep, looking again for DeAndre Hopkins, but Amani Harris not going to let another one get past them. He extends, and I thought that DeAndre Hopkins certainly had a couple of steps on him. Tua just not laying it out there long enough. Amani Harris getting it on a spectacular interception, returning it for a little bit before being brought down. Cardinals are going to be back in business, already up 21-0. And you see what Tua saw. Hopkins did have a step on Harris, but just a little bit underthrown. Cardinals back with the rock. And they have the ball once again, trying to get even more points on the board. Handoff, Antonio Gibson. And Gibson has had a lot of trouble finding room so far. 10 carries, 32 yards. Does, of course, have the 2 touchdowns, though. So not too bad. As here's Roberts now again looking for Rashad Bateman. And again, Bateman holding on through the contact. Rashad Bateman really doing his thing now, up to 6 catches for 127 yards on the day. Here they go, 1st and 10. Roberts trying to squeeze another one in there. Hummel getting his hand up, knocking the ball away. Can't get them all to Rashad. Now here we go, 2nd and 10. Roberts looking right side for Trey McBride as they have Jake Hummel. They are giving this dude Hummel a lot of responsibility for someone who is really not that good of a player. And Trey McBride taking full advantage of it that time. 1st and 10. Roberts has Aaron Donald in his face, and he is going to be sacked. Aaron Donald, the first Ram in there. They weren't able to bring down Roberts in the first matchup with Aaron Donald, did get one in the second matchup, and now have another one here. Aaron Donald was bound to make his presence felt. Byron Young combining with him for the long loss of 12. 2nd and 22 now from the 43. Roberts putting one up there, looking for Rashad Bateman in double coverage, but Levi Wallace and Xavier Moorhead not to allow that to happen. 47 seconds to go here in the second quarter, setting up the screen for Antonio Gibson. Gibson has blocks. Jake Hummel not able to bring him down, and unfortunately, Gibson does go out of bounds, stopping the clock, settling for a field goal, and the Rams wouldn't do too much with their next possession. He'll find Cooper Kupp on the last play before halftime. Tua just 60 passing yards going into the half, of course, padded a little bit by that 11-yarder there. But Arizona with a 24-0 lead after the first half, just 76 total offensive yards there for the Rams, as they have not looked cohesive on offense. Of course, you got us and the Rams, Cowboys, Eagles. You got Browns, Raiders on the other side, along with Patriots, Steelers. So definitely going to be intriguing to see how these games all finish up during the rest of this wild card, during this divisional round weekend. Arizona, of course, we got the ball first, so we will be kicking off, but we're looking comfortable, up 24-0. Offense has looked completely in rhythm. Defense has stymied them at every turn. And just ready to get into the next part of this game, see how we'll finish off in this second half, as the Rams do start out with it in that empty look. Tua dropping back, has a man. It's Njoku, who has been very quiet in this game. That's going to be his first catch of the ball game. Has 7 yards there, now 2nd and 3. Flipping the play around, Tua looking like he wants to take advantage of something, moving or staying. That trips formation is something that we've mentioned so many times, as he looks for Njoku again, but Zaven Collins and Lewis Seen having none of it. 3rd and 3, and the last thing you can do if you're the Rams is go 3 and out on your first possession out of halftime. Got to see if that halftime pep talk worked, as Wan'Dale Robinson secures his second catch of the ball game for the first down despite the contact. At the 39-yard line, Tua rolling right and throwing left, has Cooper Kupp now, as Tua trying to get as many yards on this drive as he had the whole first half, it would appear. Quick pitch out to Cam Akers, who tries to make a move but will not fool the defense. Zaven Collins and Cam Wilhelm all over that. Now 3rd and 5. 3 tight end look, Tua going to be pressured up the middle. It's Juan Drummond. Drummond, who already had a huge knockdown on a screen, now gets in there for his first sack of the game, and that ends the possession. Rams punts it away. Cardinals back in business. We saw Rashad Bateman 6 for 127 in that first half. 1st and 10. Cardinals going to hand off Antonio Gibson, and Gibson, again, finding it really difficult to find any room to work with. Goes for no gain, or loss of 1, no gain on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 11, as here's Roberts throwing it in there to a tight window. Rashad Bateman holds on to it. That is the kind of throw that we have not really seen from Roberts too much during his tenure up until these last few weeks. Him even attempting that throw had seemed out of the question for the most part, but he's saving his best for the playoffs, it would appear, as they're going to hand off to Antonio Gibson once again. And once again, Gibson just 3 yards of space. Now 2nd and 7. Gibson looking a little bit tired. They're going to go ahead and keep him into block this time around, as it didn't matter. Roberts fortunately able to get it away. It was that defensive front collapsing in very, very quickly, forcing the ball out of the hands of Roberts. And here he is throwing one quickly for Trey McBride. Thought that might have been undercut by the rookie Moorhead. Instead, McBride holds on to it, gets the catch in traffic, and it's a first down, as once again, Roberts going to be pressure in his face, barely getting the ball away. Now 2nd and 10. Roberts. Here he is, Gibson looking like he's a little more energetic now, and once again only able to get there for 1 yard. And Gibson now averaging under 3 yards a carry, 12 carries, 35 yards. Here we go, 3rd and 9. Bunch look on the right-hand side. Roberts has time. Clean pocket. Has a man across the middle. Rashad Bateman once again. And Bateman with a 26-yard connection from Glenn Roberts. But unfortunately, Aaron Donald would leave on that play. We'll see more about him in just a little bit. But he should be good to go. That's the word in from the Rams coaching staff. They're just going to hold him out for the remainder of this drive. As 2nd and 10, Rondale Moore quickly out left side, and now he's down. Rondale Moore, who just came back from a 3.5 game absence, down on the field. More on him shortly as well. 3rd and 4. From the 5-yard line, hoping for the touchdown. Not the end of the world, as they have been in complete command of this game so far. But here we go. Roberts taking the snap, dropping back, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Looking left side, not going to be able to find Gibson. Nearly intercepted by Levi Wallace. Gibson knocks it out of his hands. They'll settle for 3. Rams back on offense. Tua taking the snap, looking quickly left side. He has a man. It's the rookie tight end, Jermaine Gilbert. First down, LA Rams. So the Rams now with the 1st and 10. Tua making some adjustments at the line. He's going to try to look left side for Cooper Kupp, but Andrew Stinson, once again, just having none of it. Been keeping Cooper Kupp absolutely in hell today, man. Handoff to Cam Akers. He's going to fight forward, breaking one tackle, but brought down there by Cam Wilhelm, short of the line to gain. It'll be a 3rd and 1 here, and you got to convert this if you're the Rams. Last thing you need is to not put any points on the board on this possession, but he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins left side, who holds on through the contact of Amani Harris. Tua dropping back once again, going to go short for Cam Akers, and Cam Wilhelm again there immediately to bring him down. 2nd and 5, back to that 2 tight end look. Tua dropping back to find DeAndre Hopkins, who holds on to end the 3rd quarter, and the Rams still yet to put a point on the board. Just 130 yards of offense for them on the day, while Arizona is a little bit over 300 themselves. We'll see if the Rams have any type of fight here in the 4th quarter, as Tua going to go short for Akers once again, upended by Jalen Johnson, leading now to a 2nd and 3. And they've continued to love these trips looks. This time a bunch look left. Tua scrambling left, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Has time, airing one deep for DeAndre Hopkins, but it's intercepted by Amani Harris instead on the toe tap, the toe drag. Tua going to be seeing Amani Harris in his nightmares when he goes to bed, man. This is our 3rd matchup with the Rams, and Amani Harris has intercepted Tua time and again. None bigger than the 2 he's had in this game, and more particularly that one, as it gives Arizona the ball back when the Rams were in threatening position. 2nd and 10 after the missed throw to Trey McBride. He's going to dump one short to Rashad Bateman. Bateman trying to get shifty before he's hit down right in bounds at about the 33-yard line. Rashad Bateman's excellent day continues, now bringing Rondale Moore across the formation. We see the safety creeping down. They're going to hand off left side to Antonio Gibson, who's going to be dropped by DJ Jones. Looked like he had a clear path to 30 or 40 yards that time. Instead, it's going to be just a 2 or 3 yard carry. And this time around, not going to be able to get the first. And with such a comfortable lead, no need to mess around with it. Go ahead and punt it back, and a good punt down at the 12. Tua going short for Cam Akers once again. And man, Tua's head coach, McVay, needs to get in his ear, letting him know that these checkdowns are not going to score them 27 points. As here's Cooper Kupp finally getting a decently big play, breaking off the tackle of Andrew Stinson and fighting for the first down. His 5th catch of the game, but just 31 yards. And you got to think, not a lot of them have been super meaningful, as Tua finds Wan'Dale Robinson on the right side. Now 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go here in the game, and the Rams have to think about making something happen here, as BJ Ojulari brings down Tua for a loss of 5. That is not how you need any plays on this possession to go. Long 2nd and 15 now. Tua looking right side, trying to find Cooper Kupp, but Zaven Collins at the last second able to knock it away. And you see this Rams team, who has 216 total yards of offense, and has been one of the best passing offenses in the league to this year. Just stymied at every opportunity, and there they are getting sacked again. Tua not able to make anything happen. 4th and 21. He's taking a shot deep for Njoku, who breaks off the tackle of Lewis Seen, but not able to finish it out for the first down. They'll turn it over on downs, and the Cardinals now back with the ball. 3:32 to go here in the game. Handoff to Antonio Gibson, who has some space, and Gibson, looking like his best run of the day, has an 18-yarder down to the 26-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi, unfortunately, injured on that play. Gibson gonna get it once again for a gain of 4, now at the 25-yard line, 2nd and 6. Here's Roberts under center, quick throw outside to Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore makes a move, thankfully back in the game, avoided serious injury. It'll be a first down, and what should be the last play here before the 2-minute warning. Handoff to Antonio Gibson, gain of only about 2 yards. And that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning with the Rams 0 on the scoreboard. Cardinals 27 and threatening once again. But you got to think that this game is pretty much done and dusted, just playing to finish it out at this point. Roberts going to throw short for Rashad Bateman, who has nothing but space and dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Rashad Bateman's excellent day continues. His 10th catch of the day, first touchdown of the day, 7th touchdown in the last 2 games against the Rams, and the Cardinals at this point just showing off. But the Rams still do have one more last gasp effort. I mean, under 2 minutes, unlikely, but you just never know. As Tua, rolling right side, gonna throw it away. Couldn't get it to Njoku, nowhere to go with the ball. 2nd and 10. Here's Tua, this time going to find Njoku for a gain of about 6 before he's brought down there. Now 3rd and 4 at the 31. Tua, play action fake, continuing to like Njoku right here. Now his 4th catch of the day after having just 2 all game before this final drive. Time continuing to tick down, about a minute to go. Here's Tua, has DeAndre Hopkins for a gain of 14 yards across midfield. They're going to elect not to use those timeouts. Tua again airing one there for Hopkins. That's 22 yards. He has 36 yards over his last 2 catches, and this should be the last play of the game. They're looking like they're in Hail Mary formation. Tua gonna take a shot deep, looking for Njoku. Pass knocked away, and that will do it. The Arizona Cardinals absolutely dominating in this 3rd game of the year against the Rams, and they take it. They will advance to host the NFC Conference Championship game after a 34-0 win. And what a performance from this defense. I mean, the offense, certainly a big part. You know, they did what they needed to do to open up the game, had a little bit of a lull mid-game, but then finished it out strong. 373 yards of offense, not a whole lot for us, but enough to get it done. Rams a hair over 200, and a lot of that coming on the final possession. Just 13 first downs for the Rams. Clean game for us as far as turnovers. 7 of 10 on 3rd down. Rams, to their credit, were 5 of 9, but a couple of those coming on the last drive. And how about Glenn Roberts in his playoff debut? 24 for 34, 323, 2 touchdowns, 70% completions, just getting it done at all levels of the field. Tua, 24 for 34, 211, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Not overly impressed. He had a chunk of that come in the final drive. Antonio Gibson, 62 yards, 2 scores, just 3.2 a carry. Rams really did a great job stuffing the run. Rams only 38 yards of rushing offense as well. Receiving, Rashad Bateman, 10 for 199 and a score, just a yard shy of that 200-yard mark. Unfortunately, DeAndre Hopkins going 6 for 86, but almost a third of that coming on the final possession. Over a third, rather. Trey McBride, Rondale Moore got into the end zone as well. Cooper Kupp, shockingly, just 5 for 31, was being, strapped by Andrew Stinson all game, and Njoku as well, who had dominated us over the first couple of games. Very quiet, just 2 catches until the final garbage time possession. Amani Harris with 2 interceptions. We saw Jake Hummel lead both teams in tackles with 14. Couple guys there getting in for sacks, Ojulari, Juan Drummond, Cam Thomas. And of course, we did our due diligence beating the Rams. Means we'll have +5 hit power for the whole defense next week. And I'm excited to see who we're going to match up against. Will it be Dallas or will it be Philly? I mean, my money's on Philly. As we mentioned earlier, I think that they have been the second best. And let me stop my sentence right there, because it is the Dallas Cowboys who will be coming to town to take on the Arizona Cardinals. This is a team that we knocked out of the playoffs last year, a team that is talented in all areas of the field. I mean, when you look at the offense, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, both near the top in their respective positions all season. Tony Pollard out of the backfield. Defensively, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence present maybe the best edge duo in the league. Not to mention Trayvon Diggs on the back end, LVE roaming the middle at linebacker, a very steady presence. But one thing to note, the Niners had never beaten us under head coach Mike White until this year in week 9, hoping that that will not be the same case with Dallas. We are 3-0 against them under head coach Mike White. All 3 with Josh Dobbs. This will be Robert's first time taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll see what they're able to put together in what should be an electric game, one that I doubt we'll see a 0 for Dallas in. But we'll save that for next time around. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. I do hope y'all are continuing to enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe should you feel so inclined. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Have a great day, and peace.